Hi, I'm Rob, and welcome to the Electrolander Project. What is the Electrolander Project? This is where I'm going to take this 60-year-old Cushman motor scooter and turn it into an electric bike. If you're new to the channel, thank you for joining in. Let me apologize ahead of time for the poor production values you're going to see here. Bad sound, bad lighting, cut my head off, the whole 9 yards. I am not in a studio. I am not sponsored by anybody. I'm just a guy in his own garage trying to turn an antique motor scooter into an electric bike. On the other hand, if you're following along, thank you very much for sticking with me. Welcome to episode 5, Brakes. I'm not planning on stopping, I'm planning on going.
Hello, Rob again. Today we will be removing the brake linkage from the scooter and hopefully the brake pedal. Interesting thing to note, I do not believe that there is supposed to be a tractor ball joint on the back of this assembly here. Additionally, it's not supposed to be all loose and wobbly. It's supposed to be good and tight. Not loose and wobbly like that. That's what's on the Highlander. Don't think that's quite right. So we're going to take that off. The linkage is probably right. It's the end piece that's wrong. Or I might have to make a new linkage or buy one. We'll see. And we're going to do our best to take this brake lever off. And wow, those floorboards are really mangled, aren't they? More fun, more fun. Anyway, here we go. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, here's some fun. Looks to be a couple of half-inch wrenches to take this off. Maybe a half on the bottom and a 7/16 on top. It's a nice thing about the Cushmans. Instead of Craftsman wrenches, a couple of screwdrivers, and needle nose pliers, you can take the whole thing completely apart. In this case, it doesn't look like I need any tools at all. This is so loose I can unscrew it with my fingertips. Fortunately, I only took this for one test ride. Yes, no tools necessary. That could have been an unpleasant experience. I sure didn't take a lot to pull that car thing out. Brake return spring and the switch actuator has been brazed on there, which it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to free float so that you can adjust the tension on the brake pedal. I think I finally found the first tight bolt on this whole bike. Five. Now this comes off. Apparently you roll it through this hole. Again, simple but extremely sturdy construction that's simply a piece of 3/16 or 1/4 inch bar bent in half with a pedal welded on it made out of diamond plate. Simple, very effective. Fun fact, in 1950 or 1953, whichever you want to call it, Cushman Highlander weighs in at 255 pounds ready to ride. Whoops, dropped it. And the old-fashioned foot brake switch. Anybody who's ever driven a car made before 1970 Remembers having to hit the brakes with their left foot. Exact same switch.
Okay, so first we're going to check out how the rear wheel spins from the side, what it looks like. And it doesn't look too terrible. But let me tell you, this bike just kind of hopped all over the place, the one test ride that I did take on it. And it shook so badly that the rear fender, there it is, over there, actually fell off on the first ride of a whopping 2 miles. Now, a little of everything. It's kind of wobbling. I'm pretty sure that's mostly the tire. Doesn't feel like there's any play in the bearings at all, and the bearings are spinning freely. The brakes are not dragging. It's just clearly that wheel is wobbling all over hell in creation. It's probably this tire, which is a Nanco brand tire. I've never heard of a Nanco brand tire. In a 4.8 by 8 size, which is not correct for a Highlander. Depending on whether this is the deluxe model, which I believe it is, hence the floorboards, it should have the Cushman 100 tires, which are 4.75 by 7.75 diameter. We've got one over here. This is a Cushman 100 tire. Genuine Cushman 100 in a 4.75 by 7.75 size. Not much of a rain tire. I wouldn't suggest riding these in the rain. Or it could be a 4 by 8 tire. But this says 4.8 by 8, which is not correct in either case, and might be attributing to the hopping. So, let's get this off of here. Should be simple as popping those 2 bolts, there and there, and popping that bolt, and the whole assembly will come out. We'll disassemble that later on the bench. Make sure everything is in fact good inside. Check the brake lining, make sure it doesn't need to be replaced. It's raining outside very heavily. And we'll clean it up and fix it up as necessary. I'm pretty darn sure we're going to put a new tire on there. There's lots of tread on this tire, but the tire is garbage. Anyway, let's take this off. All we need are a couple of 9/16 inch wrenches here. There's a box on the outside, open it on the inside. We pull these 2 bolts first. Hopefully that's the right order. And well, okay, I didn't have to exert any pressure at all on the wrench, but at least I couldn't turn this one with my fingers. Not this one. That one was actually tight. That's kind of impressive so far. And that one was moderately tight. I'm sure it would have survived 1 or 2 more rides before it came loose. Let's just pull this out. Never actually pulled the rear axle out of the Highlander. In the Eagle, the bolt just pulls out and the whole assembly drops. So, we're going to learn together, I guess. Close back on. Somehow that is. There we go. Whoops. And unbalanced the frame. Process. I was afraid that was going to happen. A little further back. There we go. These 4 here where you see the nuts,
Those actually hold the wheel assembly to the hub. They're like the lug nuts on your car. These four here, where you see the bolt heads, actually hold the two halves of the rim together. It's a split rim. Again, if it was a 4x8 tire, like I would expect on the standard Highlander, that should have 6 bolts holding the hubs together, the wheel rims together. If it was a 4.75 by 7.75, I would expect 4 bolts. So this is all very curious. We're going to have to take this apart, measure everything, and figure out just exactly what we have here, because this doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's our episode for today. I know it was a short one, but hopefully you got some laughs out of it at my expense. Anyway, tune in soon for episode 6. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. Be well, be safe. Talk to you soon.